Hey, welcome back to Connotation Counts. I'm Emily, and across the mic is Zach. Today we're exploring that secret layer under words, the feelings they carry. If you like learning through real stories and everyday language, tap follow or subscribe so new episodes find you automatically.
I'm Zach. Quick starter. Denotation is the basic dictionary meaning. Connotation is the flavor. Think of slim versus skinny. Same idea, different vibe. One can feel like a compliment, the other like a poke.
That reminds me of a tiny mistake I made at a birthday dinner. I told a friend, "This cake was cheap." I meant it kindly. I was proud of finding a good deal. Her face fell. I tried again. Budget friendly. Same price, different feeling. Suddenly it sounded intentional and smart instead of, low quality.
I've been there. It's wild how one word can change the mood at the table. Cheap can imply poor quality. Budget-friendly suggests smart spending. That tiny shift is the connotation doing the heavy lifting.
Two helpful words for today: nuance and register. Nuance is a small difference in meaning or feeling, like soft lighting versus dim lighting. Register is formality, the voice you use with your boss versus your best friend.
Speaking of work, I once wrote in an email, "We need a more aggressive timeline." To me, aggressive meant fast and focused. The client read it as pushy and stressful. I rewrote, "Could we try a tighter, more ambitious timeline?" Same request, but it landed as energetic instead of demanding.
How did you realize the tone went sideways? Was it the reply? Or that feeling you get when you reread something and think, that sounds sharper than I meant?
Both. Here's a 2-second tone check I use now. 1. Swap the word. If stingy makes you wince, but frugal feels respectful, choose the second. 2. Read it imagining the other person's day. 3. Add one softener like might, a bit, or could if needed.
Quick vocab moment. Pejorative means a word that carries a negative feel, like nosy. A euphemism softens something uncomfortable. Passed away instead of died. Knowing which one you're using keeps your message kind and clear.
And if this kind of small but powerful tip helps you write better messages, make sure you're subscribed. It tells the algorithm, hey, this is useful, and it helps us keep making these episodes for you.
So, quick recap. Connotation is the emotional color of a word. Denotation is the plain meaning. We'll play with pairs like frugal versus stingy and assertive versus aggressive, and share real emails and moments that went a little off, and how we fixed them.
Let's dig in. Up next, everyday word swaps that instantly change the mood, starting with that famous pair, frugal and stingy, and when each one backfires. All right, let's get into the famous pairs. First up, frugal versus stingy. Then we'll jump to assertive versus aggressive. They look similar on paper, but in real conversations, they land very differently, sometimes in painful, awkward ways.
Speaking of that, I had a roommate moment that taught me fast. We were splitting grocery costs, and I said, "Could we be a little frugal this month?" He nodded. Later, I slipped and joked, "Don't be stingy with the olive oil." His face changed instantly, like I'd accused him of being selfish. I backtracked and said, "Sorry, I meant careful. I'm trying to plan meals so nothing goes to waste." Same goal, different feeling. Frugal sounded responsible. Stingy sounded mean. We ended up laughing and setting a list for shared basics, which fixed the tension.
That's the heart of it. Quick check. Frugal usually means careful and resourceful with money. Stingy implies unwilling to share, tight-fisted. One respects choices, the other judges character. That tiny shift changes whether someone feels seen or attacked. In a budget meeting, I said, "We have to be stingy with travel this quarter." The room went quiet. People heard cuts, mistrust, no opportunities. I rewrote the message before sending the recap. Let's be frugal with travel and prioritize essential trips so teams still meet goals. The mood flipped. Managers started suggesting solutions: shared itineraries, remote demos, rotating conference slots. We saved money and kept morale because the word focused on smart choices, not on shaming people.
Little technique here. I do a swap test. If the sentence works with frugal and still sounds respectful, I keep it. If stingy makes me flinch, I delete it. Another trick. Point the word at the resource, not the person. Frugal with travel, not a frugal team. It protects dignity.
Now, assertive versus aggressive. I once gave design feedback and wrote, "Be more aggressive with the color choices." The designer went defensive. I realized I wanted confidence, not combat. I tried again. Could we make a more assertive palette, clearer contrast, stronger headers, so the call to action stands out? Same push for clarity, zero battle energy. The next draft was perfect.
Quick vocab moment. Assertive is clear and confident without stepping on people. Aggressive feels confrontational or hostile. Register matters too. With friends, I might say, go bold. With clients, more assertive sounds professional. Mini recap. Choose the word that targets the behavior you want, not the person's personality.
So, 2 takeaways. 1. Frugal respects intention. Stingy attacks identity. 2. Assertive invites collaboration. Aggressive raises shields. If a word tightens the room, try a swap, add specifics, or aim the language at the task. Speaking of specifics, let's test a few quick scenarios right after this. Online, tiny choices change everything. I once sent a 2-word chat, "Need update." No emoji, no context. It looked bossy. The fix was simple. I followed up with, "Quick check on the report. Are we still on track for 4 p.m.?" Same request, but now it sounded human and clear.
That reminds me of a Slack message I wrote during a bug crisis. I typed, "We need to fix this ASAP." The engineer later said it felt like a shout. I rewrote it to, "Flagging a login bug. Could we patch by 2 p.m. so support can respond? Thank you for jumping in." Suddenly, it became a plan, not pressure.
Email subjects also carry tone. I used to write vague lines like, "Question." Now I add purpose and a time box. "Quick check re-invoice. Need confirmation by Friday 12. Inside the email, I add a reason, because finance closes at 2, which lowers friction and makes the request feel reasonable.
Tiny placement matters too. "Please" at the end can sound like a command wearing a hat. At the start, it feels collaborative. "Please send the draft by 3. I'll merge it into the deck." Quick vocab. Hedging means softening language a bit. Words like might, could, or a bit when you want gentle edges.
I had to retire ASAP. People read it as panic. I switched to specifics. "Could you upload the file by 3 p.m. so I can compile before the client call?" Also, 1 exclamation mark is friendly. 3 look urgent or upset. Periods in chat can feel final, so I use line breaks or a dash instead.
Emojis are like salt, helpful in small amounts. A simple "after a request" can show warmth, but I skip them in high-stakes emails. In a global team, I prefer clarity over cleverness. Short paragraphs, a single question per message, and bold timing details so nobody misses the action point.
I use a tone ladder before hitting send. At the bottom is the bare command, "Send the deck." 1 step up, "Please send the deck." Better, "Could we send the deck by noon?" Best for teamwork, "Let's send the deck by noon. I'll polish slides 3 to 5. Could you add the metrics?" Same task, rising collaboration.
My go-to formula when I'm busy but don't want to sound sharp: request plus reason, plus deadline, plus appreciation. I wrote to a vendor, "Could you resend the contract with page numbers because legal needs them by 11 a.m.? Thanks for the quick turnaround." It's direct, but the reason softens the push.
Quick vocab moment. A mitigator is a softening word or phrase. A bit, might, when you have a moment. A directive is a clear instruction. Tone drift is when a message feels harsher or lighter than you intended. Knowing these helps you choose the right balance for email versus chat.
Mini recap. Give context, set a real time, add a reason, and keep warmth without fluff. Read your message once as the recipient. After a long day, would it calm you or spike your stress? If it spikes, climb one step up the tone ladder and hit send.
Sometimes a word lands with a thud and the room goes cold. When that happens to me, I pause, breathe, and repair fast. Not a speech, just a clean fix. Own the impact, reframe the message, and offer a next step.
I had a moment like that in the planning meeting. I called a teammate pushy when I meant proactive. Her shoulders tensed. I felt it right away. I said, "I'm sorry. That sounded unfair. I appreciate how proactive you've been." Then I added, "Could we channel that energy into the client summary by noon?" The apology acknowledged the sting. The reframe showed respect, and the concrete request moved us forward. After the meeting, she said, "Thanks for catching it fast."
That's the key, intent versus impact. My favorite repair line is, "I hear how that landed. Let me walk that back. What I meant was..." Quick vocab. To walk it back means to retract or soften a statement. Short, human, effective.
Email repairs are trickier because tone sticks. I once wrote, "This is urgent." The vendor went quiet. I followed up quickly. "Apologies. Urgent sounded harsh. The goal is to ship today so your team avoids weekend work. Could you confirm by 3 p.m.? Clear reason, friendlier tone.
My 3-step template. 1. Acknowledge impact. That wording felt sharp. 2. State intent. I was aiming for clarity, not pressure. 3. Next action. Let's review the draft at 2. Bonus tool. De-escalate with gratitude. "Thanks for raising this," or "I appreciate the pushback." It lowers the temperature instantly.
What about real time, when emotions run high? I like bridge phrases, little connectors that buy time and show respect. "I want to get this right. Can I restate what I heard?" What would make this feel workable for you?
I mirror before I reframe. "You're worried the deadline ignores testing. Did I get that right?" If they nod, I add, "Let me rephrase my ask. I want a faster path that still protects quality. What timeline keeps quality intact?" Mirroring proves you listened. Rephrasing resets direction.
For chat, I use a tone reset. I type, "Tone check. My last message read harsher than I intended." Then I add the clarified version with specifics and a softener like "could" or "when you have a moment," unless it truly is time-sensitive.
Tiny note on word choice. Swapping pejoratives helps. Instead of lazy, try blocked or overcapacity. You're naming the obstacle, not attacking the person. People join solutions when they're not defending themselves.
Mini recap. Repairs work when you acknowledge, reframe, and offer an action. Add a reason, and the same sentence feels respectful. If a phrase accidentally judges character, aim it at the task or the constraint, and momentum returns.
Up next, we'll run a quick practice lab. Tiny swaps and tone sliders you can use today, from aggressive to assertive, without losing clarity or speed. Practice lab time. Let's make word choice feel like flipping a few switches. First tool, the substitution test. You keep the sentence, swap the key word, and listen for the emotional shift. If the room feels tighter, you picked the wrong flavor.
Real story. At a weekend market, I told a baker, "I love that your pastries are cheap." Her eyebrows did a tiny jump. I tried the swap in real time. I mean, budget-friendly. I can treat my friends without overspending. Instant smile. Same price, warmer feeling. That's the substitution test saving my Saturday.
Second tool, tone sliders. Imagine a volume knob from command to collaboration. Bottom, send the deck. One click kinder. Please send the deck. Collaborative. Could we send the deck by noon? Team-oriented. Let's send the deck by noon. I'll clean slides 2 to 3. Quick vocab. A mitigator softens. Could, a bit. An intensifier boosts urgency, very strongly. Dial what the moment needs.
Let's dig a little deeper into that with 3 mini contexts. Coworker running late. I texted, "Could you hop on in 5? I'll cover intros." Client waiting on numbers. I wrote, "For accuracy, may we confirm the Q3 metric by 3 p.m.? Friend planning dinner. Any chance we book at 7 so I can beat traffic? Same goal, timing. Different registers for each relationship."
Speaking of timing, I had a bug alert during lunch. In chat, I used a directive plus a softener. Could you roll back the update now? Login failures spiked. Then I mirrored it in email with context. We're seeing a 12% failure rate. Rollback by 1:30 prevents customer impact. Channel matters. Chat gets action. Email captures reasoning.
Quick drill I love. Aim language at the task, not the person. Instead of, "You're careless," I messaged, "The labels look misaligned. Can we realign to the grid?" It protects dignity and speeds fixes. Tiny vocab ping. Register is the formality level. Matching it to the audience keeps messages smooth.
Another practice, the 60-second rewrite. I set a timer, rewrite an email 1 notch up the tone slider, and add 1 reason. A manager once replied, "Crystal clear, thank you." Same content, but the added why turned resistance into momentum. It's amazing what one sentence of purpose does.
Little red flags to scan for before sending. ASAP, urgent, and the sneaky actually. If any raise the temperature, calibrate. Swap ASAP for a real time, drop actually, or add a thank you for effort. I do a whisper read-through. If it sounds sharp in my own voice, I soften 1 step.
Mini recap. Use substitution tests to catch hidden tone. Slide the knob from command to collaboration, and run context drills so your wording fits the relationship. Pick the word that targets the behavior, add a reason, and clarity survives the softening.
Try it today. Rewrite 1 message with a cleaner verb and a kinder frame. Then watch the response time. Up next, we'll wrap with quick daily micro practices so polished English becomes a habit, not a headache.
As we wrap, let's turn big ideas into tiny daily moves. Micro practices under 2 minutes. Language changes faster with small, repeatable habits.
First one, the before-send breath. Read your message once as the other person, then swap 1 word if needed. I did this at a coffee shop, added a reason, and the barista smiled instead of frowning.
Try the 4-part frame: request, reason, time, appreciation. I wrote, "Could you upload the draft by 3 so I can compile for the client? Thanks for the quick help." Quick vocab. Calibrate means adjust slightly.
Keep a tiny word pair card in your notes. Frugal, stingy. Assertive, aggressive. Curious, nosy. Confident, cocky. On your commute, read one line with both options and notice your gut reaction. Resonance is a word's emotional echo.
Another small drill, the tone slider. Take a sentence and move it one notch toward collaboration. Let's send the deck by noon. I'll polish slide 3. You changed nothing essential, but the room softens.
My personal fix? I hunt for actually. It often sounds dismissive. I replace it with gratitude or a reason. Thanks for flagging this. Because the timeline is tight, can we ship today?
Do a Friday mini post-mortem, a brief look back. Save one message that worked and one that misfired. Label them do again and rethink. Patterns make precision automatic.
Quick recap. Aim words at tasks, not people. Add a reason. Set real times. Use softeners when helpful, and repair fast. Small switches build trust and improve results.
If today helped, follow or subscribe so new episodes reach you. Share your favorite word pair in the comments. I'm collecting them for a future episode.
Take one micro practice into your day and watch responses change. Thanks for spending time with us. Speak with care. Let your words do kind, precise work.
Breathe once before you hit send. Words travel. Send them kindly. See you next time.